Theatre's production of John Fletcher's The Faithful Shepherdess. I am... Do you have something you want to say?
If you be not reasonably assured of your knowledge in this kind of play, lay down your program. Or read this, which I would wish had been the prologue. It is a pastoral tragicomedy, which the people, seeing when it was played, having ever had a singular gift in defining, concluded to be a play of country hired shepherds in grey cloaks with dogs in strings, sometimes laughing together and sometimes killing one another, and missing wits and ales, cream, wassail, and Morris dances began to be angry. In their error I would not have you fall, lest you incur their censure. Understand, therefore, a pastoral to be a representation of shepherds and shepherdesses with their actions and passions, which must be such as may agree with their natures. They are not to be adorned with any art, but such improper ones as nature is said to bestow, as singing and poetry, or such as experience may teach them, as the virtues of herbs and fountains, the ordinary course of the sun, moon, and stars, and such like. But you are ever to remember shepherds to be such as all the ancient poets and modern of understanding have received them. That is the owners of flocks and not hirelings. A tragicomedy is not so called in respect of mirth and killing, but in respect it wants death, which is enough to make it no tragedy. Yeah, bring some near it, which is enough to make it no comedy, which must be a representation of familiar people with such kinds of trouble as no life be questioned, so that a god is as lawful in this as in a tragedy, with familiar people as in a comedy. Thus much, I hope, will serve to justify my play and make you understand it. To teach you more for nothing, I do not know that I am in conscience bound.
The truest man that ever fed his flocks by the fat plains of fruitful Thessaly. Thus I salute thy grave. Thus do I pay my early vows and tribute of mine eyes to thy still loved ashes. Thus I free myself from all ensuing heats and fires of love, all sports, delights, and games that shepherds hold full dear, thus put I off. Now no more shall these smooth brows be girt with youthful coronals and lead the dance. No more the company of fresh fair maids and wanton shepherds be to me delightful, nor the shrill, pleasing sound of merry pipes under some shady dell when the cool wind plays on the leaves. All be far away. Since thou art far away, thou art gone, and these are gone with thee, and all are dead, but thy dear memory, that shall outlive thee, and shall ever spring whilst there are pipes, jolly shepherds sing. And here will I, in honor of thy love, dwell by thy grave, forgetting all those joys that former times made precious to mine eyes, only remembering what my youth did gain in the dark, hidden, virtuous use of herbs. That will I practice, and as freely give all my endeavors as I gained them free. Of all green wounds, I know the remedies, in men or cattle, be they stung with snakes, or charmed with powerful words of wicked art, or be they lovesick, or through too much heat grown wild or lunatic, their eyes or ears misted with doling film of misty rheum. These I can cure. Such virtue lies in herbs, applied by a virgin's hand.
Through yon same bending plain that flings his arms down to the main, and through these thick woods have I run, whose bottom never kissed the sun, since the lusty spring began, all to please my master. And have I trotted without rest to get him fruit for a feast. He entertains this coming night his paramour, the searing sprite. But behold, a fairer sight! By that heavenly form of thine, fairest, thou art divine, sprung from great immortal race of the gods, for in thy face shines more awful majesty than dull, weak mortality. Lowly, I do bend my knee in worship of thy deity. Dana goddess, from my hand, whatever this land from her fertile womb doth send, here be berries for a queen. Some be red, some be green. These are that of luscious meat the great god Pan himself doth eat. All these, and what the woods can yield, from the hanging mountain or the field, I freely offer, and bring you more, and more strong. Till then, humbly leave I take, lest the great Pan do away. I must go. I must run, swifter than the fiery sun.
And all my fears go with thee. What greatness, or what private hidden power is there in me to draw submission from this rude man and beast? Sure, I am mortal, the daughter of a shepherd, and he was mortal, and she that bore me, mortal. Prick my hand and it will bleed. A fever shakes me, and the self-same wind that makes a young lamb shrink makes me a cold. My fear says I am mortal. Yet I've heard. My mother told it me, and now I do believe it. If I keep my virgin flower uncropped, pure, chaste, and fair, no goblin, wood god, fairy, elf, or fiend, satyr, or other power that haunts these groves shall hurt my body, or my vain illusion to make me follow and so toll me on. Else why should this rough thing, who never knew manners, nor smooth humanity, whose heats are rougher than himself and more misshapen, thus mildly kneel to me? Sure, there is a power in that great name of Virgin that binds fast all rude, uncivil bloods, all appetites that break their confines. Then, strong chastity, be thou my strongest guard. For here I'll dwell, in opposition against fate and hell.
That was so like right.
Now we have done this holy festival in honor of our great God and his rites performed. Prepare yourselves, and as the priest with powerful hand shall sprinkle on your brows his pure and holy water, ye may be from all hot flames of lust and loose thoughts free. Kneel, shepherds. Kneel! Here comes the priesthood time.
Shepherds, thus I purge away whatsoever this great day, or the past hours gave not good to corrupt your maiden blood. From the high rebellious heat of the grapes and strength of meat, from the want and quick desires your ways. Y'all are here.
Sing his praises that done our flocks from harm.
Our flocks from harm.
And the Father of our sheep, and arm in arm.
And arm in arm, tread we softly in around, whilst the hollow neighboring ground fills the music with her sound. Hymn of great God, and to thee do we sing.
Thou that keeps us chaste and free, as the young spring,
As the young spring,
ever be thy honors from that great
the morn is broke, to that place day doth unknown.
Stay, gentle Amoret, thou fair-browed maid. Thy shepherd praise thee, stay that holds thee dear.
Speak, I give thee freedom, shepherd, and my tongue be still, the same it ever was. As free from ill as he whose conversation never knew the court or city, be thou ever true.
When I fall off from my affection, or mingle my clean thoughts with foul desires, let our great Pan cease to keep my flocks, and in their general ruin let me go.
I pray thee, gentle shepherd, wish not so. I do believe thee. 'Tis as hard for me to think thee false, and harder than for thee to hold me foul.
Oh, you are fairer far than that chaste blushing morn, or that fair star that guides the wandering seaman through the deep. Straighter than the straightest pine upon the steep head of the aged mountain, and more white than the new milk we strip before daylight from the full freighted bags of our fair flocks.
Shepherd, be not lost. Ye are sailed too far already from the coast of our discourse.
Did you not tell me once I should not love alone? I should not lose those many passions, vows, and holy oaths I have sent to heaven. Did you not give your hand, even that fair hand, in hostage? Do not then give back again those sweets to other men you yourself vowed were mine.
Shepherd, so far as a maiden's modesty may give assurance, I am once more thine. Once more I give my hand. Be ever free from that great foe to faith, foul jealousy.
I take it as my best good. And desire for stronger confirmation of our love? To meet this happy night in that fair grove where all true shepherds have rewarded men for their long service. Say, sweet, shall it hold?
Dear friend, you must not blame me if I make a doubt of what the silent night may do, coupled with this day's heat to move your blood. Maids must be fearful. Sure, you have not been washed white enough yet, for I see a stain stick in your liver. Go and purge again.
Do not wrong my honest, simple truth. Myself and my affections are as pure as those chaste flames that burn before the shrine of the great Diana. My intent to draw you thither was to plight our troths with interchange of mutual chaste embraces and ceremonious tying of our souls. For to that holy wood is consecrate a virtuous well, about whose flowery banks the nimble-footed fairies dance their rounds in the pale moonshine, dipping oftentimes their stolen children, so to make them free from dying flesh and dull mortality. By this fresh fountain hath many a shepherd sworn and given away his freedom, many a troth and plight which neither envy nor old time could ever break, with many a chaste kiss given in hope of coming happiness. By this fair fount hath many a blushing maid crowned the head of her long-loved shepherd, whilst he happy sung lays of his love and dear captivity. There grows all herbs fit to cool looser flames our sensual parts provoke, chiding our bloods. So virtuous is that place. Then, gentle shepherdess, believe and grant your faithful shepherd of those chaste desires he ever aimed at, and
Thou hast prevailed. Farewell. This coming night shall crown thy chaste hopes with long-wished delight.
Great God, Pan, reward thee for that good! Thou hast given thy poor shepherd fairest bud of maiden virtues. When I leave to be the true admirer of thy chastity, let me deserve the hot, polluted name of a wild woodsman, or affect some dame whose often prostitution hath begot more foul diseases than ever yet the hot sun bred in all his burnings, whilst the dog pursues the raging lion, throwing fog and deadly vapor from his angry breath, filling the lower world with plague and death.
Shepherd, might I desire to be believed what I shall blushing tell?
again than the cold earth is in his frozen arms to clip the wanton spring.
Nay, do not start. No wonder that I woo thee. Thou that art the prime of our young grooms, the top of even all our lusty shepherds. What dull eye that never was acquainted with desire hath seen thee wrestle, run, or cast the stone with nimble strength and fair delivery, and not sparkled fire, sent secret heat down to neighboring veins. Do not blame me if I be one numbered in this company, shepherd, for none that ever saw thee yet were free.
Fair shepherdess, much pity I can lend to your complaints, but sure I shall not love. All that is mine, myself, and my best hopes are given already. Do not love him, then, that cannot love again. On other men bestow those heats, more free, that may return you fire for fire, and in one flame equal burn.
Shall I be rewarded so slenderly for my affection, most unkind of men? Were I mistress to the love of any common swain, or could I with such ease cast away my love as many a wanton doth? Thou mightst refuse me, shepherd, but to thee I am only fixed in sex. Let it not be a sport to abuse the love of silly maid.
Fair soul, ye use these words to little end. I will no longer hold you with delays. This present night I have appointed Ben to meet that chaste fair that enjoys my soul in yonder grove to make up our loves. Be not deceived no longer then. Choose again. These neighboring plains have many a comely swain. Bestow that love on them, and let me pass. Farewell. Be happy in a better choice.
Cruel! Thou hast struck me deader with thy voice than if the angry heavens with their quick flames had shot me through. I must not leave to love. No, I cannot. I must enjoy thee, boy. Though the great dangers twixt my hopes and that the infinite. There dwells down by the moor a shepherd, whose life hath shown more sullen discontent than silence brow, and never joys, unless it be in breaking the holy plighted troths of mutual souls. One that lusts after every several beauty, yet was never known to love or like. Not caring for the piper whistle, this man may, if he be well wrought, do a deed of wonder, forcing me passage to my long desires. And here he comes, as fitly to my purpose as my quick thoughts could wish for. Fresh beauty!
Let me not be thought uncivil thus to be the partner of your loneliness. 'Twas my love drew me to this place to seek some remedy for my sick soul. Be not unkind and fair, for such the mighty Cupid in his doom hath sworn to be avenged on. Then give room to my consuming fires, so I may enjoy my long desires, and so allay those flames that else would burn my life away.
Shepherd, were I but sure thy heart were as sound as thy word seems to be, means might be found to cure thee of thy long pains, for to me, the heavy youth-consuming misery the love-sick soul endures never was pleasing. I could be content with the easing of thee and thy hot fires, might it procure thy faith and farther service, to be sure.
Name but that great work, danger, what can be compassed by the wit or art of man, and if I fail in my performance, let me nevermore kneel to the rising day.
And thus I try thee, shepherd. This same night that now comes stealing on, a gentle pair hath promised to make yon wood the place where hands and hearts are to be tied forever. Break their meeting and their strong faith, and I am ever thine.
Tell me their names, and if I do not part by my great power, the center of their love from his fixed being, let me nevermore warm me by those fair eyes I thus adore.
Come, as we go, I'll tell thee what they are and give thee fit directions for thy work.
How have I wronged the times or men that thus after this holy
I am held not fair, or am too old, or else not free enough, or from my fold drive not a flock sufficient great to gain the greedy eye of wealth-alluring swain. Yet if I am to believe what others say, my face has spoil enough. Nor can they lay justly too strict a coyness to my charge. My downs are many, the flocks is large they feed upon. Then let it ever be their coldness, not my virgin modesty makes me complain.
Was ever man but I thus truly taken with uncertainty? Where shall that man be found that loves a mind made up in constancy, and dares not find his love rewarded? Here, let all men know a wretch that lives to love his mistress so.
Shepherd! I pray thee stay! Where hast thou been, or whither goest thou? Here be all new delights, cool streams and wells. Arbors are grown with woodbines, caves and dells. Choose where thou wilt, whilst I sit and sing, or gather rushes to make many a ring for thy long fingers. Tell me tales of love, how the pale Phoebe, hunting in a grove, first saw the boy Endymion, from whose eyes she took eternal fire that never dies. How she conveyed him softly in his sleep, his temples bound with poppy to the steep head of old Latinus, where she stoops each night, and gilding the mountain with her brother's light to kiss her sweetest.
Far from me be these hot fleshes bred from wanton heat and ease. I have forgot what love and loving meant. Rhymes, songs, and merry rounds that oft are sent to the soft ears of maids are strange to me. Only I live to admire a chastity that neither pleasing age, smooth tongue, or gold could ever break upon. So sure is the mind her mold was cast in. 'Tis to her I only am reserved. She is the form I stir by, breathe, and move. 'Tis she, and only she, can make me happy or give misery.
Shepherd, may I straight your crave to know to whom this dear observance you do owe?
Ye may, and by her virtue learn to square and level out your life, for to be fair and nothing virtuous only fits the gaudy eye of youth and swelling vanity. Then know, she is called the Virgin of the Grove, she that hath long since buried her chaste love, and now lives by his grave, for whose dear soul she has bowed herself into the strict role of holy virginity. 'Tis she I so admire, not any looser blood or new desire.
Farewell, poor swain. Thou art not for my bend. I must have quicker souls whose words may tend to some free action. Give me him dear love at first encounter, and as soon dear prove. Come, shepherd's son, come without delay, 'cause the gentle time doth stay. Green woods are dumb, never tell to any those dear kisses and those many sweet embraces that are given, dainty pleasures that good even, praising the golden stage of life, and give virgin like desire. And if ever command heaven, think not I dare deny if you crave it. Oh, here comes another. Better be my speed, thou god of blood. But certain, if I read not false, this is that modest shepherd. He that only dares salute, but ne'er could be brought to kiss any, hold discourse or sing, whisper or boldly ask that wished thing we are all born for. one who makes loving faces, and could be well content to covet graces were they not got by boldness. In this thing my hopes are frozen, and though fate don't bring him hither, I would sooner choose a man made of snow and freer use, a eunuch to my ends. But since he is here, thus I tempt him. Thou of men most dear, welcome to her who only for thy sake hath been content to live. Here, boldly take my hand in pledge, this hand that never yet was given away to any. And but sit down on the rushy banks while I pull fresh blossoms from the boughs, or quickly cull the choicest delicates from yonder mead, to make thee chains, or chaplets, or to lay under our fainting bodies when delight shall lock up all our senses. How the sight of those smooth rising cheeks renew the story of young Adonis, when in pride and glory he lay enfolded twixt the beating arms of willing Venus. Methinks stronger charms dwell in those speaking eyes, and all that brow more sweetness than the painters can allow.
I can love, but I am loth to say so, lest I prove too soon unhappy.
Have you no words to say, my dearest Daphnis? Blush not if the day to thy soft heats be enemy. Then take the coming night, fair youth, 'tis free to all the world. Shepherd, I'll meet thee then in yonder grove when darkness hath shut up the eyes of men. Say, shall our meeting hold? Indeed, ye are too bashful. Be more bold and tell me
I am content to say so, and would be glad to meet. Might I praise so much from your fairness that you would be true?
Shepherd, thou hast thy wish.
A fresh maid, adieu! Yet one word more. Since you have drawn me on to come this night, fear not to meet alone. This man thou will not offer to me ill, though your bright self would ask it for his fill of this world's goodness. Do not fear him then, but keep your appointed time. Let other men set up their bloods to sail. Mine shall be ever fair as the soul it carries, and unchaste never.
Oh, yet am I poorer now than I was before. Is it not strange among so many a score of lusty bloods I should pick out these things whose veins like rivers far from springs is still the same, slow, heavy, unfit for stream or motion, though the strong winds hit with their continual power upon his sides? Oh, happy be your names that have been brides!
And such beauty, be safe in his own garden, not draw the eye. Fairest and widest, may I crave to know the cause of your retirement? Why ye go thus all alone? Methinks the downs are sweeter, and the young company of swains more meeter than these forsaken and untrodden places. Give not yourself to aloneness. In those graces hide from the eyes of men thou were intended to live amongst us swains.
Shepherd, thou art befriended. In my life I've never seen a man in whom such greater contents have been than thou thyself art. I could tell thee more were there but any hope left to restore my freedom lost. Oh, lend me all thy red thou shaped last morning, when from Timon's bed thou risest ever maiden.
If for me, thou sweetest of all sweets, these flashes bespeak, and be satisfied. Oh, guide her tongue, my better angel. Force my name among her modest thoughts, that the first word may be
Alexis! When the sun shall meet the sea, taking his rest by the white Thetis' side, meet me in the holy wood, where I'll abide thy coming, shepherd.
If I stay behind to everlasting dullness, let me turn to coldness more than ice. Oh, how I burn and rise in youth and fire. I dare not stay.
My name shall be your word.
Fly, fly thou day.
My grief is great if both these boys should fail. He that will use all winds must shift his sail.
Shepherds all and maids fair, fold your flocks up, for the air gives a thick and a See the heavy clouds low falling, and bright Hesperus down calling the dead night from underground, and the rising mists unsound. Therefore, from such danger, lock everyone his loved flock, and let your dogs lie loose without, lest the wolf come as a scout from the mountain, and ere day bear a lamb or kid away.
Or the crafty, thievish fox break upon your simple flocks.
To secure yourself from these, be not too secure in ease. Let one eye his watches keep, whilst the other eye doth sleep. So you shall good shepherds prove, and forever hold the love of our great God. Sweetest slumbers and soft silence fall in numbers on your eyelids. So, farewell. Thus I end my evenings now.
Now let me know what my best art hath done, helped by the great power of the virtuous moon in her full light. Oh, you sons of earth, you only brood, unto whose happy birth virtue was given, holding more of nature than man, her firstborn and most perfect creature. You that these hands did prop long before prime of day, give me your names, and next, your hidden power. This is the cloak, bearing a yellow flower, and this, black horehound. Both are very good for sheep or shepherd bitten by a wood dog's venomous tooth. These for frenzy be a speedy and a sovereign remedy. The bitter wormwood, sage, and marigold, such sympathy with man's good do they hold. This, tormentel, whose virtue is to part all deadly killing poison from the heart. And here, others too. But your rebellious use is not for me, whose goodness is abuse. Therefore, foul stand or grass, from me and mine I banish thee, with lustful turpentine. You that entice the veins and stir the heat to civil mutiny, scaling the seat our reason moves in and deluding it with dreams and wanton fancies, till the fit of burning lust be quenched by appetite, robbing the soul of blessedness and light. And thou, light Varden, too, thou must go after, provoking easy souls to mirth and laughter. No more shall I dip thee in water now, and sprinkle every post and every bough with thy well-pleasing juice, to make the grooves swell with high mirth, as with joy all the rooms.
This is the cabin where the best of all her sex that ever breathed or ever shall give heed or happiness to the shepherd's side, only to her worthy self doth abide. Oh, thou blessed star, I thank thee for thy light, thy by whose power the darkness of sad night is banished from the earth, and whose dull place thy chaster beams play on the heavy face of all the world, making the blue sea smile to see how cunningly thou dost beguile thy brother of his brightness, giving day again from chaos, wider than that way that leads to Jove's high court, chaster far than chastity itself, yon blessed star.
Shepherd, how camest thou hither to this place? No way is trodden. All the verdant grass the spring shot up stands yet unroosted here of any foot. Only the dappled deer, far from feared sound of crooked horn, dwell in this fastness.
Oh, chaster than the morn, I have not wandered, nor by strong illusion into this virtuous place have made intrusion. But hither have I come, believe me fair, to seek thee out, whose great good the air is full and strongly labors whilst the sound breaks against the heavens and drives into a drown the amazed shepherd that such virtue can be resident and lesser than a man.
If any art I have, or hidden skill, may cure thee of disease or festered ill, whose grief or greenness to another's eye may seem impossible of remedy, I dare yet undertake it.
Oh, 'tis no pain I suffer through disease, no beating vein conveys infection dangerous to the heart. No part in posthumous to be cured by art this body holds, and yet a fouler grief than ever skillful hand did give relief dwells on my soul, and may be healed by you, fair beauteous virgin.
Then, shepherd, let me sue to know thy grief. That man yet never knew the way to health, that durst not show his sore.
Heaven, fairest, no, I love you so. No.
No, Lord, thou hast abused the strictness of this place, and offered sacrilegious foul disgrace to the sweet rest of these interred bones. For fear of whose ascending, fly at once, thou and thy idle passions, that the sight of death and speedy vengeance may not fright thy very soul with horror.
Let me not, thou all perfection, merit such a blot for my true zealous faith.
Darest thou abide to see this holy earth at once divide and give her body up? For sure it will, if thou pursuest with wanton flames to fill this hallowed place. Therefore repent and go, whilst I with prayers appease his ghost below.
'Tis not the whiter red that inhabits in your cheek that thus can wed my mind to adoration, nor your eye, though it be full and fair, nor forehead high and smooth as Pelops' shoulder, not that smile that lies in those dimples watching to beguile the easy soul. Your hands and fingers long, with veins enameled richly, nor your tongue, though it spoke sweeter than Orion's harp, your hair woven into many a curious warp, able in endless error to unfold the wondering soul, not the true, perfect mold of all your body, which as pure doth show in maiden whiteness as the Alpsian snow. All of these, but were thy constancy away, would please me less than a black, stormy day. But whilst thy strict honor thou dost keep.
Wouldst thou have me raise again, fond man, from silent grave those sparks that long ago were buried here, with my dead friend's cold ashes?
Dearest dear, I dare not grant it, nor you must not. I dare not ask it, nor you must not grant. Sound strongly to your vow, and do not faint. Remember how he loved ye, and be still. The same opinion speaks thee. Let not will, and that great God of women, appetite, set up your blood again. Do not invite desire and fancy from their long exile to seek them once more in a pleasing smile. If you yield, I die into all affection. 'Tis that loyalty to you tied to this grave I so admire. And yet, there's something else I would desire if you would hear me, but with all denial. Oh, Pan, what an uncertain destiny hangs over all my hopes. I will retire, for if I longer stay, this double fire will lick my life up.
Do, and let time wear out what art and nature cannot bring about.
Farewell, thou soul of virtue, and be thou blessed forever, while I, wretched, rest thus to myself. Yet, grant me leave to dwell within kenning of this arbor, yon same dell, o'ertopped with morning cypress, and said, you shall be my cabin. There I will early rise to rue, before the sun hath kissed the dew away, the hard uncertain chance that fate doth lay upon this head.
The gods give quick release and happy cure unto thy hard disease.
I do not love this wench that I should meet, for never did my inconstant eye yet greet that beauty were it sweeter or more fair than the new blossoms when the morning air blows gently on them, or the breaking light when many maiden blushes to our sight shoots from his early face. Were all these set in some neat form before me, 'twould not get the least love from me. Some desire it might, or present burning. All to me in sight are equal, be they fair or black or brown, virgin or careless wanton. I can crown my appetite with any, sweat as oft or weep as any, melt my words as soft in a maiden's ear, and tell how long my heart has been her servant, how strong my passions are, call her unkind and cruel, give her all I have to gain that jewel which maidens so highly praise, then loathe and fly. This do I hold a blessed destiny.
Hail, shepherd! Pan bless both thy flock and thee for being mindful of thy word to me.
Welcome, fair shepherdess. Thy loving swain gives thee the self-same wishes back again, who never till this present hour knew that I could make me cross mine arms and daily die with fresh consumings. Boldly tell me then, how shall we cross their faithful loves, and when shall I belie him to her? Shall I swear his face is false, and that he loves everywhere? I'll say he mocked her the other day to you, which will, by your confirming, show as true. For he is of so pure in honesty, to think because he will not, none will lie. Else to him I'll slander Amoret, and say she but seems chaste. I'll swear she met me amongst these shady sycamores last night, and offered up her flame and sprite into my bosom, made a wanton bed of many leaves and flowers, where she spread her willing body to be pressed by me. So, shh! There have I carved her name on many a tree, together with mine own, to make this show more full of seeming. Avenel, you know, son of the aged shepherd of the glen, him I have sorted out of many men to say he found us at our private sport, and roused us ere our time by his resort. This to confirm I have promised the boy many a pretty knack and many a toy. This I have done to win ye, which doth give me double pleasure. Discord makes me live.
Loved swain, I thank ye. These tricks might prevail with other rustic shepherds, but will fail once to stir, much more to overthrow his fixed love from judgment, who doth know your nature, my end, and his chosen's merit. Therefore, some stronger way must force his spirit, which I have found. Give second. And my love is everlasting thine.
Try me and prove.
These happy pair of lovers meet straightway, soon as they fold their flocks up with the day, in the thick grove bordering upon yon hill, in whose hard side nature hath carved a well. And but the matchless spring that poets know was ne'er the like to this. By it doth grow about the sides all herbs which witches use, all simples good for medicine or abuse, all sweets to crown the happy nuptial day with all their colors. There the month of May is ever dwelling. All is young, green. There's not a blade of grass on which is seen the falling autumn or cold winter's hand. So full of heat and virtue is this land. This holy well, my grandam that is dead, bright wise and charms, hath often to be said, hath power to change the form of any creature, being thrice dipped into what feature or shape would please the letter down to crave, who must pronounce this charm too, which she gave me on her deathbed. Told me what and how I should apply unto the patient's brow that should be changed, casting them thrice asleep before I trusted them into this deed. All this she showed me, and to charge me with the secret of her art, if crossed in love, I'll this attempt. Now, shepherd, I have her prescriptions, and will not fear myself to be dipped. Come, my temples bind with these sad herbs, and as I sleep you find, speak your charm, thrice down me let, and bid the water raise me Amoret, which being done, leave me to my affair, and itself shall quite the day outwear. And then I'll return unto my shepherd's arm, dip me again, repeat this charm, pluck me up myself, whom freely take, and the hottest fire of thine affection slake.
And if I fit thee not, then fit not me. I long the truth of this world's power to see.
Here will I stay, for this the covert is where I appointed Chloe. Thou, bright-eyed virgin, do not miss. Oh, come, my fair. Be not abused with fear, nor let cold care of honor slay thee from thy shepherd's arm, who would his heart be won to offer harm to thy chaste thoughts as whiteness from the day, or yon great round to move another way. My language shall be honest, full of truth. My flame is smooth and spotless as my youth. I will not entertain that wandering thought whose easy current may at length be brought to a loose vastness.
Chloe!
'Tis her voice, and I must answer. Chloe, oh, the choice of dear embraces, chaste and holy strains our hands shall give. I charge you, O my veins, through which the blood and spirit take their way, lock up your disobedient heats and stay those mutinous desires that else would grow to strong rebellion. Do not wilder show than blushing modesty may entertain.
Chloe!
There sounds that blessed name again, and I will meet it. Let me not mistake. This is some shepherd. Sure, I'm awake. What may this riddle mean? I will retire to give myself more knowledge.
Oh, my fire, how thou consumest me. Chloe, answer me. Alexis, strong Alexis, high and free, calls upon Chloe. See? Mine arms are full of entertainment, ready for to pull that golden fruit which too long hath hung, tempting the greedy eye. Thou stayest too long. I am impatient of these mad delays. I must not leave unsought the many ways that lead into this center. Till I find quench for my burning lust, I come unkind.
Can my imagination work me so much ill that I may credit this for truth and still believe mine eyes? Or shall I firmly hold her yet untainted, and these sights but bold illusion? Sure, such fancies oft have been sent to abuse true love, and yet are seen daring to blind the virtuous thought with error. But be they far from me with their fond terror, I'm resolved my Chloe yet is true. Chloe! Hark! Chloe! Sure, this voice is new, whose shrillness, like the sounding of a bell, tells me it is a woman. Chloe, tell thy blessed name again.
Here.
Oh, what a grief is this to be so near and not encounter.
Shepherd! We are met. Draw close into the covert, lest the wet which falls like lazy mists upon the ground soak through your stirrups.
Fairest, are you found? How have I wandered that the better part of this good night is perished? Oh, my heart, how have I longed to meet ye, how to kiss those lily hands, how to receive the bliss that charming tongue gives to the happy ear of him that drinks your language. But I fear I am too much unmannered, far too rude, and almost grown lascivious to intrude. And such discourse as one fair sister may, without offense unto the brother say, should rather have been tendered. But believe, here dwells a better temper. Do not grieve, henceforth to all discourses, but shall be suiting to your sweet thoughts and modesty. Indeed, I will not ask a kiss of you. No, not to wring your fingers, nor to sue to those blessed pair of fixed stars for smiles. All a young lover's cunning, all his wiles and pretty wanton dies shall to me be strangers. Only to your chastity I am devoted ever.
Honest swain, first let me thank you, then return again as much of my love. No, thou art too cold, unhappy boy, not tempered to my mold. Thy blood falls heavy downward. 'Tis not fear to offend, any boldness wins. They never wear deserved favors that deny to take when offered freely. Do I wake to see a man of his youth, years, and feature, and such a one as we call goodly creature, thus backward? Let men that hope to be beloved be bold. Daphnis, I do desire, since we are met so happily, our lives and assurances set upon one stake, to give assurance now, by interchange of hands and holy vow, never to break again. Walk you that way, whilst I, in zealous meditation, stray a little this way. When we both have ended these rites and duties by the woods befriended and secrecy of night, retire and find me an ancient oak, whose holiness may bind us both within his body. Thither go. It stands within yon bottom.
Be it so.
And I will meet there, never more with thee, thou idle shamefastness!
Chloe!
'Tis he who dare, I hope, be bolder.
Chloe!
Now, great man, for Cyric's sake, bid speed our plow!
On thy forehead, thus I place these herbs, and bid thee not awake till in yonder holy well I take thy body from the ground in this deep and deadly sound, and down into this holy spring I let thee slide down by my string. Take this maid, thou holy pit, to thy bottom nearer yet. In thy waters pure and sweet, by thy leave I dip her feet. Thus I let her lower yet, that her ankles may be wet. Yet down lower, let her knee in thy waters washed be. There, stop! Lay away everything that loves the day. Truth that hath but one face, thus I charm thee from this place. Snakes that cast your coats for new, chameleons that alter hue, hairs that yearly, sexes change. Proteus altering oft and strange. Hecate with shapes of three, let this maiden changed be, with this holy water wet, the shape of Amoret. Cynthia, work thou with my charm. Thus I draw thee free from harm up out of this blessed lake. Rise both like her and awake.
Speak, shepherd, am I Amoret saint? Or hast thou missed any magic rite, for wonder which any defect in me may make our practices discovered be?
By yonder moon, but that I do here stand, whose breath has thus reformed thee, and whose hand let thee down dry, and plucked thee thus up wet, I should myself take thee for Amoret. Thou art in clothing, in feature, in voice, and hue, so like the sun
cannot distinguish you. Then, this deceit which cannot crossed be, and one shall lose her him and gain thee me. Paragot was to come first, but I'll say my constant love made me come first instead. Then, I will lead him further to the grove, but stay you here, and if his own true love shall seek him here, set her in some wrong path, which say her lover lately trodden hath. I'll not be far from hence. If there need be, here is another charm whose power will free the dazzled sense, read by the moon's beam clear, and in my one true shape make me appear.
Stand close. Here comes Paragot, who longs to behold her in whose shape thou art.
This is the place, fair Amoret. The hour is yet scarce come. Here every sylvan power delights to be about yon sacred well. But I will further seek, lest Amoret should be first come. And so stray long unmet. My Amoret! Amoret!
Paragot!
My love!
I come, my love!
Now she hath got her own desires, and I soon shall gain her be of my long looked for hopes as well as she. How bright the moon shines here, as if she strove to show her glory in this little grove to some new loved shepherd. Yonder is another Amoret. What differs this from that but that she, Paragot, hath met? I should have taken this for the counterfeit. Herbs, woods, and springs, the power that in you lies, if mortal men can know your properties.
Methinks it is not night, I have no fear, walking this wood of lion or fair. Methinks there are no goblins, and that men's talk that in these woods the nimble fairies walk are fables. Such a strong heart I've got, because I've come to meet with Paragot, my Paragot. Who's that, my Paragot?
Fair maid.
I me thou art not Paragot.
But I can tell ye news of Paragot. An hour together under yonder tree, he sat with wreathed arms and called on me and said, Mine Amoret, stayest thou so long? Then starting up down yonder path he flung, lest thou had missed thy way. Were it yet daylight, he could not have borne himself out of sight.
Thanks, gentle shepherd, and beshrew my stay. That made me fearful I had lost my way. As fast as my weak legs will carry me, I'll follow, and for this thy care of me. Pray Pan, thy love may ever follow thee.
How bright she was! How lovely did she show! Was it not pity to deceive her so? She plucked up her garments and tripped away, and with a virgin innocence did pray for me, that perjured her. While she was here, methought the beams of light that did appear were shot from her. Methought the moon gave none but what it had from her. She was alone with me. If her presence did so move, why then did I not essay to win her love? She would not sure have yielded in to me, but in love only opportunity and not the man. Or if she had denied, I might have forced her to have tried who had been stronger. Oh, vain fool, to let such blessed occasion pass. Oh, follow yet, my blood is up, I cannot now forbear. I come, sweet Amoret! Soft, my dear, a pair of lovers, you shall yield her to me, now lust is up, like all women be.
Where shall we rest? But for the love of me, Chloe, I know ere this would weary thee.
Alexis, let us rest here if the place be private, and out of the common trace of every shepherd, for I understood this night a number are about the wood. Then let us choose some place where, out of sight, we freely may enjoy our stolen delight.
Then boldly here, where we shall never be found. No shepherd's way lies here, 'tis hallowed ground. No maid seeks here her strayed cow or sheep. Fairies and fawns and satyrs do it keep. Then carelessly rest here and clip and kiss, and let no fear make us our pleasures miss.
Then lie by me. The sooner we begin, the longer ere day descry our sin.
Forbear to touch my love, for my young flame, the greatest power that shepherds dare to name. Here were thou first under this holy tree. Heard to this honor, thou shalt bury thee.
If Pan himself should come out of the lawns with all his troops of satyrs and fawns and made me leave, I swear by her 2 eyes and greater oath than thine,
for dessert.
Oh, yet forbear to take her from me. Give me leave to die by her.
Now, whilst the stars, whose feeble light give a pale shadow to the night, are up, Great Pan has commanded me to walk this grove about. But to my charge, here I must stay to see what mortals lose their way, and by a false fire, seeming right, train them in, and leave them right. And then I must watch for any forcing of a chastity. If I find it, then in haste give my wreathed horn a blast, and the fairies all will run, wildly dancing by the moon, and pinch into the bones till the lustful lops be gone.
Oh, death.
But back again about this ground. Sure I hear a mortal sound. I bind thee by this powerful spell, by the waters of this well, by the glimmering moonbeams bright. Speak again, thou mortal wight.
Oh.
Speak again, thou mortal wight. Here the foolish mortal lies sleeping on the ground. Arise. Poor wight is almost dead. On the ground, his wounds have bled, and his clothes foul with blood. To my goddess in the wood will I lead him, whose hands pure will help the mortal wight to cure.
Since I first beheld you, shaggy man, my breast doth pant. Each bush methinks should hide a beast. Yet my desire holds still above my fear. I would fain meet some shepherd new I wear, for from one cause of fear I am most free. It is impossible to ravish me, I'm so willing. Here upon this ground I left my love all blended with his wound, yet till that fearful shape may be begone, I furnished was of one, but now both lost. Alexis! Speak or move! If thou hast any life, thou art yet my love! He's dead! Or else with his little might crept from the bank for fear of that ill sprite. Then where art thou that struck'st my love astray? Bring me thyself in change, and then I'll say thou hast some justice. I will make thee trim with flowers and garlands that were meant for him. I'll clip thee round with both mine arms as fast as I did mean he should have been embraced. But thou art fled! What hope is left for me? I'll run to Daphnis in the hollow tree who I did mean to mock. Though hope be small, to make him bold, 'tis better yet than none at all. I'll try him. His heart and my behavior too, perhaps may teach him what he ought to do.
This was the place. 'Twas but my feeble side mixed with the horror of my deed in night which shaped these fears and made me run away and lose my beauteous, hardly gotten prey. Speak, gentle shepherdess! I am alone in tender love for love, but she is gone from me, that having struck her lover dead, for silly fear left her alone and fled, and see, the wounded body is removed by her of whom it was so well beloved. But all these fancies must be quite forgot. I must stand close. Here comes young Paragot with subtle Amaryllis in the shape of Amoret. Pray, love, he may not escape.
Beloved Paragot, show me some place where I may rest my wit limbs, weak with the chase of thee an hour before thou camest at least.
Beshrew my tardy steps. Here, thou shalt rest upon this holy bank. No deadly snake upon this turf and folds doth make. Here is no poison for the toads to feed. Here, boldly spread thy hands. No venom bleed dares blister them. No slimy snail dare creep over thy face when thou art fast asleep. Here never durst the babbling cuckoo spit. No slough of falling star did ever hit upon this bank. Let this thy cabin be. This other set with violets for me.
Thou dost not love me
believe me, but I do.
What? Shall we now begin again to woo? 'Tis the best way to make your lover last, to play with him when you have caught him fast.
By Pan I swear, beloved Paragon, and by yon moon, I think thou lovest me not.
By Pan I swear, and if I falsely swear, let him not guard my flocks. Let foxes tear at my earliest lambs, and wolves while I do sleep fall upon the rest, or run among my sheep. I love thee better than the careful ewe, the new-weaned lamb that is of her own hue. I dote upon thee more than that young lamb doth on the bag that feeds him from his dam.
How should I trust thee when I see thee choose another bed, and dost my side refuse?
'Twas only that the chaste thoughts might be shown twixt thee and me, although we were alone.
Come, Paragon will show his power that he can make his amourette, though she weary be, rise nimbly from her couch and come to his. Here, take thy amourette, embrace and kiss.
What means my love?
To do as lovers should, better to be enjoyed, not to be wooed. There's ne'er a shepherdess in all the plain that can kiss thee with more art. There's none can feign more wanton tricks.
Forbear, dear soul, to try whether my heart be pure. I'd rather die than nourish one thought this on.
Still thinkst thou such a thing as chastity is amongst women? Paragon, there's none that with her loves in a wood alone would come home a maid. Be not abused with thy fond first belief. Let time be used. Why dost thou rise?
My true heart thou hast slain!
Faith, Paragon, I'll pluck thee down again.
Let go! Thou serpent that into my breast hast with cunning dived. Art not in jest?
Sweet love, lie down.
Since this I live to see some bitter north wind blast my flocks and me.
You swore you loved, yet will not do my will.
Oh, be as thou wert once. I'll love thee still.
I'm as still as I was in all my kind, though other shows we have poor men to blind.
Then here I end all love, and lest my vain belief should ever draw me in again before thy face that hast my youth misled. I end my life, my blood be on thy head.
Oh, hold thy hands, thy amourette doth cry.
Thou counselest well. First amourette shall die. That is the cause of my eternal smart.
Oh, hold!
This steel shall pierce thy lustful heart.
Up, down, everywhere I strew the herbs to purge the air. Let thy odors drive from hence all the mists that dazzle sense. Herbs and springs whose hidden might alters shapes and mocks the sight. Thus I charge ye to undo all before I brought ye to. Let her fly, let her escape, give again her own true shape.
Forbear thou gentle swing, thou dost mistake! She whom thou followest fled into the brake, and as I crossed thy way I met thy wrath, the only fear of which near slain me hath. Pardon, fair shepherdess! My rage and night were both upon me, and beguiled my sight. But far be it from me to spill the blood of harmless maids that wander in the wood.
Many a weary step in yonder path, poor hopeless amourette twice trodden hath to seek her Paragon, yet cannot hear his voice. My Paragon, she loves thee, dear, that calls.
See yonder where she is. How fair she shows, and yet her breath infects the air.
My Paragon,
Here,
happy.
hapless first. It lights on me! The next blow is the worst!
Stay, Paragon, my love, thou art unjust.
Death is the best reward that's due to lust!
Now shall their loves be crossed for being struck. I'll throw her in the fact, lest being took by some night traveler whose honest care might help to cure her. Shepherdess, prepare yourself to die.
He struck my soul and not my body through. Tell him, when I am dead, my soul shall be at peace if he but think he injured me.
In this fount be thy grave.
Thou wert not then sure for a woman.
Thou art so innocent. She cannot scape, for underneath the ground, in a long hollow, the clear spring is bound, till on yon side where the morn sun doth look, the struggling water breaks out in a brook.
Here is a mortal, almost dead, fallen into my riverbed, hollowed so with many a spell, that till now none ever fell. 'Tis a female, young and clear, cast in by some ravisher. See, upon her chest a wound, on which there is no bluster bound, yet she's warm, her pulses beat, 'tis a sign of life and heat. If thou beest a virgin pure, I can give a present cure. Take a drop into thy wound from my watery lock, more round than Orient pearl, and far more pure than unchaste flesh may endure. See, she pants, and from her flesh the warm blood gusheth out afresh. She's an unpolluted maid. I must have this bleeding stay. For my banks I pluck this flower with holy hand, whose virtuous power is at once to heal and draw. The blood returns. I've never seen a fairer mortal now doth break her slumber. Virgin, speak.
Who hath restored my sense, given me new breath, and brought me back out of the arms of death?
I've healed thy wounds.
Ay me!
Fear not him that succoured thee. I am this fountain's God below, and if thou wilt go with me, leaving mortal company, in the cool streams shalt thou lie, free from harm, as well as I. I will give thee for thy food no fish that you soft in the mud, but trout and pike that love to swim where the gravel from the brim. Though the pure streams may be seen, Orient pearl, fit for a queen, will I give thy love to win, and a shell to keep in, and to make thee understand how I can my waves command. They shall bubble whilst I sing, sweeter than the silver string.
Immortal power that ruleth this holy flood, I know myself unworthy to be wooed by thee, a god. For ere this, but for thee, I should have shown my weak mortality. Besides, by holy oath betwixt us twain, I am betrothed unto a shepherd swain, whose comely face I know the gods above may make me leave to see, but not to love.
May he prove to thee as true. First version, now adieu. I must make my waters fly, lest there leave their channels dry, and beasts that come unto the spring miss their morning waterings.
For thy kindness to me shown, never from thy banks be blown any tree with windy force, cross thy streams to stop thy course. May none that the fish don't look, cut thy banks to dam thy brook. Barefoot, may no neighbor wade in thy cool streams, nor wife nor maid, when the spawns on the stones do lie, to wash their hempen, spoil the fry.
Thanks, virgin. I must down again. Thy wound will put thee to no pain. Wonder not, so soon 'tis gone, a holy hand was laid upon.
And I, unhappy born to be, must follow him that flies from me.
She is untrue, unconstant, and unkind. She's gone. She's gone. Blow high, thou northwest wind, and raise the sea to mountains. Let the trees that dare oppose thy raging fury lace their firm foundations, creep into the earth, and shake the world as at the monstrous birth of some new prodigy. Whilst I constant stand, holding this trusty dagger in my hand. And falling thus upon it, falling thus upon it, falling thus.
Stay by your dark hand! Thou art too hot against thyself. Believe me, comely swain, that if thou diest, not all the showers of rain the heavy clouds do send down can wash away the foul, unmanly guilt the world will lay upon thee. Yet thy love untainted stands. Believe me, she is constant. Not all the sands can hardly be so numbered as she won. I do not trifle, shepherd. By the moon and all the lesser lights our eyes do view, all that I tell thee, Paragot, is true. Then be a freeman. Cast away despair and will to die. Gently smooth that fair, dejected forehead. Be as when those eyes took the first heed.
Alas, he double dies that would believe, but cannot. 'Tis not well ye keep me thus from dying here to dwell. Many days can't hold me from my will. 'Tis not myself, but Amoret bids to kill.
Stay a little but 1 hour. And if I do not show, through the power of herbs and words, I have, as dark as night, myself turn to thy Amoret in sight else that she wears about her, let me feel the first foul stroke of that revenging steel.
I am contented, if there be a hope to give it the scope of entertainment for 1 poor hour. Go. You shall find me next under yon shady beach. Even thus perplexed, and thus believing.
Bind, before I go, thy soul to Pan unto me, not to do harm or outrageous wrong upon thy life till my return.
By Pan, and by the strife he had with Phoebus for the mastery, when golden Midas judged them for their minstrelsy. I will not.
Softly gliding as I go with this burden full of woe, through still silence of the night guided by the glowworm's light. Hither am I come at last. Many a thicket have I passed, leaving neither print nor sound, and I went nimbly on the ground measured many a league an hour. But behold, the happy bower must ease me of my charge, and by holy hand enlarge the soul of this sad man that here lies yet fast bound and deadly fit. Heaven and great Pan do succor it. Hail, beauty of the bower, whiter than the paramour of my master, I crave thy virtuous help to keep from grave this poor mortal that here lies.
What art thou cost me from my holy rites, and with the feared name of death affrights my tender ears? Speak me thy name and will.
I am the satyr that did bring to your lap early fruit, and when I have to gather more, will bring you more, better fruit. I come not empty now. Lo, in yonder glade I found him. Softly in mine arms I bound him. Hither have I brought him sleeping in a trance, his wounds fresh weeping.
O satyr, they wrong thee that do term thee rude. Though thou beest outward rough and tawny-hued, thy manners are as gentle and as fair as his who brags himself born only heir to all humanity. Oh, let me see his wound. This herb will stay the current, being bound fast to the orifice, and this restrain ulcers, and swellings, and such inward pain as the cold air hath forced into the sore. This, to draw out such putrefying gore as inward falls.
Heaven grant it may do good.
Hold him gently, till I fling water in the virtuous spring, that the laboring soul may draw from this great eclipse.
I saw his eyelids moving.
Give him breath.
See, he gathers up his sprite and begins to hunt for light. Now he gasps and breathes again.
Oh, my heart. My dearest Chloe. Oh, the smart runs through my side. I feel some pointed thing pass through my bow, sharper than the sting of scorpion. Oh! Can preserve me. Do not hurt me. I am true to my Chloe, though she fly and leave me to this destiny. There she stands, and will not lend her smooth white hand to help a friend. But I am much mistaken, for this face bears more austerity and modest grace, more reproving and more awe than these eyes yet ever saw in my Chloe. My pain eagerly renews again. Give me your help, for his sake you love best.
Shepherd, thou canst not possibly take rest, till thou hast laid aside all heats, desires, provoking thoughts that stir up lusty fires, commerce with wanton eyes. Strong blood and will to execute these must be purged until the vein grow whiter. Then repent and pray, great hand, to keep you from the like decay, and I shall undertake your cure with ease. Tell when this virtuous plaster will displease your tender sides. Give me your hand and rise. Help him, the little satyr.
Oh!
Eyes yet are feeble.
I have lost much blood.
'Tis no matter. 'Twas not good. Mortal, you must leave your wooing. Though there be a joy in doing, yet it brings much grief behind it. Those that feel it best do find it.
Bring you in. I will attend his sore, and when you are well, take heed you lust no more.
Mortal, see what comes of kissing? By my head, 'twere better missing.
I thank thee, honest satyr. If the cries of any other that thee hurt or ill draw thee unto them, prithee do thy will to bring them hither.
I will, and when the weather serves to angle the brook, I will bring a silver hook, with a line of finest silk and a rod as white as milk to deserve the little fish. So I take my leave, and wish on this bower may ever dwell, spring and summer.
Friend, farewell.
This place is ominous, for here I lost my love and almost life, and have since crossed all these woods over. Never a nook or dell, where any little bird or beast doth dwell, but I have sought it. Never a bending brow of any hill or glade the wind sinks through, nor a green bank or shade, where shepherds use to sit, riddle, sweetly pipe, or choose their valentines. And I have missed to find my love in. Paragot, oh, too unkind. Why hast thou fled me? Whither art thou gone? Oh, these lusty woods shall hear. Forsaken Amoret is yet as clear of any stranger fire as heaven is from foul corruption, or the deep abyss from light and happiness. And all mayest know this for truth. And how that fatal blow thou gavest me, never from desert of mine, fell on my life, but from suspect of thine.
I am not blind, nor is it the working of my mind that this shows Amoret. Forsake me all that dwell upon the soul, but what men call wonder, or more than wonder, miracle. 'Tis not but an hour since these ears heard her cry out in pity for Paragot, whilst he, directed by his fury, bloodily lanced up her breast, which bloodless fell and cold. And if belief may credit what is told, the melancholy swain took her in his arms almost slain, and to the bottom of the holy well slung her forever with the waves to dwell. And 'tis she, the very same, 'tis Amoret, and living yet. Great powers will not let their virtuous love be crossed. Maid, wipe away those heavy tears of sorrow. My Paragot.
Where? Which is Paragot?
Sits down below, lamenting much what God wot be in thy fortune. Go to him. He sits below a brim of sapling pines that edge the mountain in.
I go, I run. Heaven grant me I may win his soul again.
Stay, Amaryllis, stay. Ye are too fleet. 'Tis 2 hours yet till day. I have performed my promise. Let us sit and warm our bloods together till the fit come lively on us.
Friend, you are too keen. The morning riseth, and we shall be seen. Forbear a little.
I can stay no longer.
Hold, shepherd, hold! Learn not to be a wronger of your word. Was your promise not laid to break their loves first? I have done it, maid. No, they are unbroken, met again, and are as hard to part as the stain is from the finest lawn.
I say they are at this present parted, and so far they shall never meet.
Swain, 'tis not so, for do but to yon hanging mountain go, and there believe your eyes.
You do hope but hold off with delays and trifles. Farewell, cold and frozen bashfulness, unfit for man. Thus I salute thee, virgin.
And thus then I bid you follow. Catch me if you can!
And if I stay behind, I am no man.
Moon, do not steal away. Go back again. Bring a second night to hide my sorrows from the coming light. Let not the eyes of men stare on my face and read my failing. Give me some black place where never sunbeam shot his wholesome light, that I may sit and pour out my sad sprite.
This is Ivana. Speak if thou be here. My Paragot, thy Amaranth, thy dear, calls on thy loved name.
What? Thou dare tread these forbidden paths where death and care dwell in the face of darkness.
'Tis thy friend, thy Amaranth. Come hither to give end to these consumings. Look up, gentle boy. I have forgot those pains and dear annoy I have suffered for thy sake, and am content to be thy love again. Why dost thou cross thine arms and hang thy face down to thy bosom, letting fall with pace from those two little heavens upon the ground, showers of more price, more oriented round than those that hang upon the moon's pale brow? Cease complaining, shepherd. I am the same as I ever was, as kind and free. I can forgive before you ask of me. Indeed, I can and will.
So spoke my fair. Oh, you great working powers of earth and air, water and forming fire! Why have you lent your hidden virtues of so ill intent? Even such a face, so fair, so bright of hue, had ever met. Such words, so smooth and new, came flowing from her tongue. Such was her eye, and such was the pointed sparkle that did fly forth like a bleeding shaft. All is the same.
Shepherd, what means this riddle? Who hath set so strange a difference twixt myself and me that I am grown another? Look and see, the ring thou gavest me, and about my wrist, that curious bracelet thou thyself didst twist.
Still nearer to my love. These be the very words she often prove upon my temper.
Am I not Amarette? Where was I lost? Can there be heaven and time and men, most of these unconstant? Faith, where art thou fled? Are all these vows and protestations dead? Why then I see, men never knew that virtue constancy.
Men were ever yet most blessed, till cross fate brought love and women forth. Unfortunate to all who ever tasted of their smiles, their actions all double, full of wiles, like to the subtle hair that for the hounds makes many turns, leaps, and many bounds this way and that way to deceive the scent of her pursuers.
'Tis but to prevent their speedy coming on that seek her fall, the hands of cruel men, more bestial, and of a nature more refusing good than beasts themselves, or the fishes of the fly.
All actions is love that none can find, the rise and falling of a woman's mind.
Can there be an age or days or time where tongues of men guilty so great a crime as wronging simple maid? Oh, Paragot, thou that was yesterday without a blot, thou that was always just and blessed in faith and promise, thou that hast the name of virtuous given thee and made good the same. Is this to have been so and now to be the only best in wrong and infamy? Oh, come thou forsaken willow, wind my head and noise into the world, my love is dead. Sooner lost in the quick clouds or the chill of frost when the hot sun beats on it. Tell me yet, canst thou not love again thy Amaranth?
Thou art not worthy of that blessed name! I must not know thee. Flame thy wanton flame upon some lighter blood that may be hot with words and feigned passions. Paragon was ever yet unstained, and will not now stoop to the meldings of a furrowed brow.
Then hear me, heaven, to whom I call for right, and you, fair twinkling stars that crown the night, whilst I breathe out my last. I am that maid, that yet untainted Amaranth, that played the careless prodigal, and gave away my soul to this young man that now dares say I am a stranger. Not the same, more wild, and thus with much belief I was beguiled. Do I resolve to grieve and not to die?
Thou must. Was ever any man so loath to trust his eyes as I? Or was there ever yet any so like as this to Amaranth? For whose dear sake I promise, if there be a living soul within thee, thus to free thy body from it.
So this word hath end. Farewell and live. Be constant to thy friend that loves thee next.
See? The day begins to break, and the light shuts like a streak of subtle fire. The wind blows cold whilst the morning doth unfold. Therefore, here I end my watch, lest the wandering swain should catch harm or lose himself.
Ay me!
Speak again, whatever thou be. I am ready. Speak, I say. By the dawning of the day, by the power of night and pan, I enforce thee. Speak again.
Oh, I am most unhappy.
Yet more blood? Sure these wanton swains are wood. Can there be hand or heart dare commit so vile a heart as this murder? I will bear her to where my goddess keeps, and crave her to give her life or grave.
Now, whilst one patient takes his rest secure, I steal abroad to do another cure. Pardon, thou very body of my love, that from my side I dare so soon remove. I will not prove unconstant, nor will leave thee for an hour alone. When I deceive my first made vow, the branches of wood tear me, and o'er thy grave let out my blood. I go by wit to cure a lover's pain, which no herb can. Being done, I'll come again.
Poor shepherd, in this shade forever lie, and sing thy fair Corin's cabin. Die! Oh, hapless love, which being answered ends, and as a little infant cries and bends his tender brows, when rolling up his eye, he hath espied something that glisters nigh that he would have, yet give it him, and away he throws it straight, and cries afresh to play with something else. Such my affections, set on that which I should loathe, if I could get.
See where he lies. Did ever man but he love any woman for her constancy to her dead lover, which she needs must end before she can allow her for her friend? And he himself must needs the cause destroy for which he loves before he can enjoy. Oh, poor shepherd. Heaven grant I had once may free thee from thy pain and keep my loyalty. Shepherd, look up.
Thy brightness doth amaze, so Phoebus may at noon bid mortals gaze. Thy glorious constancy appears so bright, I dare not meet the beams with my weak sight.
Why dost thou pine away thyself for me?
Oh, why dost thou keep such spotless constancy?
Thou, holy shepherd, see what for thy sake, Clorin, thy Clorin, now dare
Stay there, thou constant Corin! If there be any part of woman in thee to make thee light, think yet before you speak.
See what a holy vow for thee I break. I that already have my fame far spread, for being constant to my lover dead.
Think yet, dear Clorin, of your love. How true, if you had died, he'd have been to you.
Yet all I'll lose for thee.
Think, but how blessed a constant woman is above the rest.
And offer up myself, here on this ground, to be disposed by thee.
Oh, why dost thou wound his heart with malice against women more that hated all their sex but thee before? Oh, how much more pleasant it had been for me to die than to behold this change in thee. Yet, return, let not the woman sway.
It insults not on her now, nor use delay, who for thy sake hath ventured all her fame.
Thou hast not ventured, but bought certain shame. Your sex is cursed. Foul falsehood must and shall I see once in your lives light on you all. I do hate thee now. Yet turn.
Be just to me. Shall I once lose both my fame and thee?
Thou hadst no fame. That which thou didst, right good, was but thy appetite that swayed thy blood. So did thy appetite and not thy zeal sway me by chance to do some one thing well. Yet turn.
Thou dost but try me. If I would forsake thy dear embraces for my own loves, though he were alive. But do not fear.
You condemn me there now and dare not near to gaze upon me. This is the game of foul inconstancy.
Oh, 'tis done. Oh, great Pan, I give thee thanks for it. What art could not have healed is cured by wit.
Wilt thou be constant yet? Wilt thou remove into the cabin to your buried love?
Oh, let me die, but by thy side remain.
There's none shall know. No, there's none shall know that it's ever stained thy worthy strictness, but shalt honored be, and I'll again lie under this tree and pine and die for thee with more delight than I have sorrow now to know thee light.
Let me have thee, and I'll be where thou wilt.
Thou art of woman's race and full of guilt. Farewell, all hope of that sense. Whilst I thought there was one good, I feared to find one not. But since their minds I all alike espy, henceforth I'll choose as theirs by mine eye.
Blessed be ye powers that gave such quick redress, and for my labor sent so good success. I rather choose, though I a woman be, he should speak ill of all than die for me.
Shepherds rise and shake off sleep. See the blushing morn doth peek through the windows, whilst the sun to the mountain tops is run. What, not a shepherd stirring? Sure, the grooms have found their beds too easy, or their rooms filled with such new delight and heat that they have both forgot their hungry sheep and day. Not that they may remember what a shame sloth and neglect lays on a shepherd's name.
some near town that is a neighbor to the bordering down hath drawn them thither. Not some lusty sport or spice wassail bowl to which resort all the young men and maids of many a coat, whilst the trim minstrel strikes his merry note.
God pardon sin. Show me the way that leads to any of their haunts.
This to the meads and that down to the woods.
Then this for me. Come, shepherd, let me crave your company.
Now your thoughts are almost pure, and your wound begins to cure. Strive to banish all that's vain, lest it should break out again.
Eternal thanks to thee, thou holy maid. I find my former wandering thoughts well stayed. Thy sex's vice and virtue are revealed at once, for what one heard, another healed.
May thy griefs more appease. Relapses are the worst disease. Take heed how you in thought offend, so mind and body both will mend.
Peace thou, the wildest creature of the wood, that bearest me thus away drowned in my blood, and dying. No, I cannot injured be. I am a maid. Let that name fight for me.
Fairest virgin, do not fear me that doth thy body bear. Not to hurt, but heal to be. But men are ruder far than we. Fair gods in the wood. Quickly, clap herbs to a rest. A man sure is a kind of beast.
With spotless hand on spotless breast, I put these herbs to give thee rest, which if both be pure, that there will bide. If not, off slide. See, it falls off from the wound. Shepherdess, thou art not sound, full of lust.
Oh, who would have thought it? So fair a face.
Why, that hath brought it.
For aught I know, I think these words my last, yet Pan, so help me, as my thoughts are chaste.
And so may Pan bless this my cure, as all my thoughts are just and pure. Some uncleanness nigh doth lurk, that will not let my medicines work. Satyr, search if thou can find it.
Here away, methinks I wind it. Well, here they be, in the hollow tree. 2 fond mortals have I found.
I'll bring them out, they are unsound.
By the fingers thus I bring ye, to my goddess thus I bring ye. Strife is vain, come gently in. I scented them, they are full of sin.
Hold, Satyr, take this glass, sprinkle over all the place, purge the air of lustful breath, to save the shepherdess from death.
From this glass I throw a drop of crystal water on the top, pure and wholesome, sweet and blessed, till the virgin's wound be dressed.
Satyr, help to bring her in.
By Pan, I think she hath no sin.
Satyr, bring the shepherd near. Try him if his mind be clear.
Shepherd, come.
My thoughts are pure. The better trial to endure.
In this flame his finger thrust, which will burn him if he lust. But if not, away will turn as loath unspotted flesh to burn. See, it gives back. Let him go. Farewell, mortal. Keep thee so.
Stay, fair nymph, fly not so fast. We must try if you be chaste. Here is a hand that quakes for fear. Sure her mind will not prove so clear.
Hold her finger to the flame, that will yield her praise or shame.
To her doom she dares not stand, but plucks away her tender hand, and the taper darting sends his hot beams through his fingers' ends. Oh, thou art foul within, and hast to mind, if nothing else, unchaste.
Is not that Chloe? 'Tis my love, 'tis she, Chloe, fair Chloe.
My Alexis! Let me embrace thee! Take her hence, lest her sight disturb his sense.
Oh, take not her, take my life instead.
See, his wound again is burst. Keep her near here in the wood till I've stopped these streams of blood. Soon again he shall find if I can but still his mind. This curtain thus I do display to keep the piercing air away.
Sure they are lost forever. 'Tis in vain to find find them out with trouble and much pain that have a ripe desire and forward will to fly the company of all but ill. What shall be counseled? Now shall we retire or constant follow still that first desire we had to find them?
Stay a little while, for if my morning's mist do not beguile, my sightless shadow sure I see a swain. When of this jolly troops come back again?
Dost thou not blush, young shepherd, to be known thus without care, leaving thy flocks alone? And like a glorious desperate man that buys a poison of much price, by which he dies, dost thou lay out for lust, whose only gain is foul disease with present age and pain, and then a grave?
Right, holy sir. I have not known this night what the smooth face of birth was, nor the sight of any looseness. Music, joy, and ease have been to me as bitter drugs to please a stomach lost with weakness.
Then wherefore hast thou wondered?
'Twas the vow that drew me out last night, which I have now strictly performed, and homewards go to give fresh pasture to my sheep, so that they might live.
Where have you left the rest?
I have not seen since yesternight any of that train. And yet all night I've walked these woods round, and have lain under an aged tree, yet neither wandering shepherd did I see, or shepherdess, or drew into mine ear sound of living thing.
Go and beware of afterfalling.
Father, 'tis my care.
Here comes another straggler. Sure I see a shame in this young shepherd. Daphnis!
Where hast left the rest that should have been long before this, grazing upon the green, their yet imprisoned flocks?
Thou holy man, give me a little breathing till I can be able to unfold what I have seen. Such heavy tidings. You all know the bower where the chaste Cloran lives, by whose great power sick men and cattle have been often cured. Their lovely Amoret that was assured to lusty Paragot bleeds out her life, forced by some iron hand and fatal knife, and by her young Alexis.
If there be ever a neighbor brook or hollow tree, receive my body. Close me up for lust that follows at my heels. Oh, be just, thou God of shepherds. Pan for her dear sake that still loves the river's brinks, and still doth shake in cold remembrance of thy quick pursuit. Let me be made a reed, and, whilst ever mute, let me nod to the water's fall, whilst every blast sings through my slender leaves that I was chaste.
This is a night of wonder. Amaryl, be comforted. The holy gods are still revengers of these wrongs.
Thou blessed man, honored upon these plains and loved of Pan, hear me, and save from endless infamy my yet unblasted flower of virginity. Let me not fall from my former state to gain the blot that shall never be purged. I am not now the wanton Amaryllis. Here I vow to heaven and thee, great father, that if I may escape this most unhappy night, to know the day of virgin, never after to endure the tongues or company of men impure.
Amaryllis!
I hear him! Come save me!
Retire well behind this bush, we have known that vile abuser of young maidens.
Stay thy pace, most loved Amaryllis. Let the chase grow calm and milder. Fly me not so fast. I fear the pointed brambles have unlaced thy golden buskins. Turn again and see thy shepherd follow, who's strong and free, able to give all content and ease. I'm not bashful, virgin, I can please. Remember, Amaryllis, 'twas I that killed Alexis for thy sake, and sent everlasting hate twixt Amoret and her beloved Paragot. 'Twas I that drowned her in the well where she must lie till time shall leave to be. Then turn again. Turn with thy open arms and clip the swing that has performed all thus. Turn, I say, I must not be deluded.
Monster, stay! Thou that hast offered with a sinful hand to seize upon this virgin that doth stand trembling here.
Good holiness, declare, what had that danger been if, being bare, I had embraced her? Tell me, by your art, what coming wonder would that fight impart?
Lust in branded soul.
Yet tell me more. Hath not our Mother Nature, for our great store and increase, set it is good and just and willed that every living creature must beget his like.
Yea, you're better read than I must confess, in blood and lechery. Now, to the bower, and bring this beast along, where he may suffer penance for his wrongs.
Here, will I wash it in the morning dew, which she on every little grass doth strew, and silver drops against the sun's appear. 'Tis holy water, and will make me clear. My hand will not be cleansed. My wronged love, if thy chaste spirit in the air yet move, look wildly down on him that yet doth stand, all full of guilt. Thy blood upon his hand. And though I struck thee undeservedly, let my revenge on her that injured thee make less a fault, which I intended not. And let these dewdrops wash away my spot. It will not be cleansed. Oh, to what sacred flood shall I resort to wash away this blood? Amidst these trees the holy Clorin dwells, and heals all wounds. To her I will myself address, and my rash faults repentantly confess. Perhaps she'll find a means by art or prayer to make my hand with chaste blood-stained fair. That done, not far hence, underneath some shady tree I'll have a little cabin built. Since she who I adored is dead. There will I give myself to strictness, and like Clorin live.
Shepherd, once more your blood is stained. Take example by this maid, who is healed ere you be pure. So hard it is lewd lust to cure. And shepherdess, take heed, lest you move his willing eye thereto. Let no ring, nor pinch, nor smile of yours his weaker sense beguile. Is your love yet true and chaste, and forever so to last?
I have forgot all vain desires, all looser thoughts, ill-tempered fires. True love, I find a pleasant view whose moderate heat can never consume.
And I a new fire feel in me, whose base end is not quenched to be.
Oh, join your hands with modest touch, and forever keep you such.
Yon is her cabin. Thus far off I'll stand and call her forth. For my unhallowed hand I dare not bring so near yon sacred place. Clorin, come forth and do a timely grace to a poor swain.
What art thou about to call? Clorin is ready to do good to all. Come near.
I dare not.
Satyr, see who it is that calls on me.
There's a handsome swain doth stand, stretching out a bloody hand.
Come, Clorin, bring thy holy waters clear to wash my hand.
Oh, what wonders have been here tonight. Stretch forth thy hands, young swain. Wash and rub it, whilst I rain holy water.
Still you power, but my hand will never scour.
Satyr, bring him to the bower. We will try the sovereign power of other waters.
Mortal, sure 'tis the blood of maiden pure that stains thee so.
Whate'er thou be, beest thou her sprite, or some divinity that in her shape thinks good to look this grove. Pardon, poor Paragot.
I am thy love, thy Amoret, forevermore thy love. Strike once more my naked breast, and I'll prove his constant still. Oh, canst thou lovest me yet? How soon could I my former griefs forget?
So overgreat with joy that you live now I am, that no desire of knowing how doth seize me. Hast thou still power to forgive?
Whilst thou hast power to love, or I to live, more welcome now than hadst thou never gone astray from me.
And when thou lovest alone, and not I, death light on me.
Now your stain perhaps will cleanse thee once again. Oh, see, the blood that erst did stay with the water drops away. All the powers again are pleased, and with this new knot are appeased. Join your hands and sit together, and be blessed that brought you hither. Go back again, whate'er thou art. Unless smooth maiden thoughts possess thee, do not press this hallowed ground. Go, satyr, take his hand, and give him present to try.
Mortal, stand till by fire I have made known whether thou be such a one mayest freely tread this place. Hold thy hand up. Never was there more untainted flesh than this fairest. He is full of bliss.
Then boldly speak. Why dost thou seek this place?
First, honored virgin, to behold thy face where all good dwells and is. Next, for to try the truth of late report was given to me. Those shepherds that have met with foul mischance through much neglect and moral ill governance, whether the wounds they have may yet endure the open air or stay along the cure. And lastly, what the doom may be shall light upon those guilty wretches through whose spite all this confusion fell.
Fume all the ground and sprinkle holy water, for unsound and foul infection begins to fill the air, gentle satyr, for the place begins to sweat and labor with the abhorred sins of those offenders. Let them not come nigh, for full of itching flame and leprosy their very souls are, that the crowd goes back and shrieks to feel the weight of such sullen, unheard of venom. Hiding fast, thou holy man, and banish from the chast these man-like monsters. Let them never more be known upon these dunes, but long before the next sun's rising, put them from the sight and memory of every honest wight. Be quick and expedition, lest the sores of these weak patients break into new gores.
My dear Amoret, how happy are those blessed pairs in whom a little jar hath bred an everlasting love, too strong for time, or steel, or envy to do wrong. How do you feel? Your hurts? Alas, poor heart, how much I was abused! Give me the smart, for it is justly mine.
I do believe it is enough, dear friend. Leave off to grieve, and let us once more, in despite of ill, give hands and hearts again.
May this band never break. Hear us, O heaven!
Be constant.
Else Pan wreck with double vengeance my disloyalty.
Thus, shepherd, with a kiss, all envy dies.
Right maid, I have performed your will. The swain in whom such heat and black rebellion's reign hath undergone your sentence. Only the maid I have reserved, whose face shows much amendment. Many a tear doth fall in sorrow for fault. Once again, upraise her heavy spirit that here drowned lies in self-consuming care that never dies.
I am content to part and call her in. The air grows cool again, and doth begin to purge itself. How bright this day doth show after that stormy cloud. Go, satyr, go, and with this taper boldly try her hand. If she be firm, true, and good, and firmly stand to be so still, we have performed a work worthy the gods themselves.
Come forward, maiden. Do not lurk, nor hide your face in grief and shame. Now or never get a name that may recure thee of all thy life that was impure. Hold your hand unto the flame, if thou beest a perfect dame, or thou hast truly vowed to mend. This pale fire will be thy friend. See, the taper hurts her not. Go thy ways, let never spot seize upon thy blood. Praise the gods and be good.
Young shepherdess, now ye are brought again to virgin state. Be so, and so remain to thy last day, unless the faithful love of some good shepherd force thee to remove. Be famous for your good, not for your crime. Now, holy man, I offer up again these patients, full of health and free of pain. Keep them from after ills. Be ever near to their actions, and teach them how to clear the tedious way they pass through from suspect. Keep them from wrong in others, or neglect of duty in themselves. Let not wine, unless in sacrifice or rites divine, be ever known of shepherds. Teach the young maidens tricks, that the grooms may ever tempt to fear their glowing youth. Banish all compliment with single truth from every tongue and every shepherd's heart. Let them use persuading, but no art. Thus, holy priest, I wish to thee and these all the best goods and comforts that may please.
And all those blessings heaven did ever give, we pray upon this bower may ever live.
Kneel, every shepherd, whilst with powerful hand I bless you. After labors in the land you feed your flocks upon, great hand defend you from misfortune and amend you, keep you from those dangers still that are followed by your will. Peace and rest to every soul. May his care of you control new desires and tempers new, that ye be ever true. Now rise and go. And as you pass away, sing to the god of sheep that happy lay that was the soul and god of melody.
Ye woods and trees and flowers, all virtues true, and all ye powers that inhabit in the lakes, in pleasant sunlit springs or breaks, move your feet to our sound, whilst we greet all this ground with his honor and his name, defends all our flocks from blame. He is great and he is just, oh, he is ever God of good and must. Thus be honored daffodillies in roses, pinks, and love in lilies. Let us fling whilst we sing, ever holy God of spring, ever honored, ever young. Thus our great God Pan is ever sung.
Thou divinest, fairest, brightest, thou most powerful maid and whitest, thou most virtuous and most blessed, eyes of stars and golden tress like Apollo. Tell me, sweetest, what new service now is meetest?
Oh, no other service, satyr, but thy watch about these thickets. These harmless people catch mischief or sad mischance.
Holy Virgin, I will dance round about these woods faster than the breaking light, and trim down the lawns and down the vales faster than the windmill sails. So I take my leave.
And friend, to thee, may all thy master's love be free. It is not the fashion to see the lady, the epilogue, but it is no more unhandsome than to see the lord, the prologue.
If it be true that good wine needs no bush,
'Tis true that a good play needs no epilogue, but to good wine they do use good bushes, and good plays prove the better by the help of good epilogues.
So, what a case am I in, then, that I'm neither a good epilogue, nor cannot insinuate with you on behalf of a good play. I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, as I perceive by your simpering, none of you hates them, that between you and the women the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had beards that pleased me, complexions that liked me, or breaths that I defied not. And I'm sure that for as many of you as have good beards, or good faces, or sweet breaths, will, for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell.